P&O Australia is a much loved cruise line that has seen many years of operation in Australia, New Zealand and the Pacific Islands. Our homegrown cruise line was born from the Peninsula and Oriental Steam Navigation Company in the early 19th century and is still going strong today. The cruise line has seen many iconic vessels in its fleet, like the beautiful SS Oriana, Fair Star and Australia's first superliner, the Pacific Dawn. Most recently, the cruise line underwent a massive transformation with the introduction of Pacific Adventure and the Pacific Encounter. With the loss of P&O favourites like the Pacific Dawn and the launch of mega-sized cruise ships, are cruisers down under still in love with P&O, and is the Pacific Adventure worthy of being Australia's favourite cruise ship? Stay tuned as we find out together. Hello and welcome back to GoodShip. It's me Jed, your trusted cruise ship guide, and right now we'll be diving straight into our Pacific Adventure and P&O Australia review. Whilst the Pacific Adventure underwent a large-scale renovation, you can still very much see her Princess Cruises roots. Many of the public spaces and staterooms have only had the bare minimum done in terms of a cosmetic refresh. In several locations, you'll notice the clash of fresh new carpet meeting the old and worn down carpet from Princess. Whilst this is only a cosmetic issue, it gives off the feeling that P&O run out of money or possibly couldn't be bothered to finish the task. Some parts of the ship have also been completely unaltered, and a prime example of that is the Marquee Theatre and the Altitude nightclub. These venues are a complete time warp back to the 90s. It would have been fantastic to see P&O upgrade the entire ship to the standard of the Adventure Hotel, which was revamped from top to bottom as you can see here. And my biggest pet peeve on board P&O and the Pacific Adventure were the abundance of upcharges. They are everywhere, so buyer beware. First of all, unlike all other leisure cruise lines, P&O do not offer complimentary dining options outside of the dining rooms and buffet. Pizza, burgers and ice cream are all pay as you go and not included in your fare like they would be on Carnival or Royal Caribbean. So definitely keep that in mind when it comes to your holiday budget planning. And the additional fees don't stop with food and beverages though. There's also charges for entertainment on P&O. Outside of the ship's mainstream shows in the Marquee Theatre, there is an option to pay a premium to see cabaret-style shows like Blanc de Blanc Uncorked. Not only do these cost more, but there's also limited availability, which means you might miss out even if you're willing to cough up the extra cash. So to save yourself disappointment, make sure you queue up early to grab those box office tickets. And you know what else really stinks on P&O? No, seriously, I mean it really stinks. P&O use a large amount of artificial grass to cover the ship's outer decks, and unfortunately this creates a smell akin to a sweaty gym change room. It's especially bad in humid climates as the grass doesn't get an opportunity to dry off completely. And I have to be honest, it's really difficult to enjoy your nice cocktail with the pool deck smelling so strongly of dirty toes and pool water. It's not a deal breaker necessarily, but it definitely comes close for me. But apart from these minor pet peeves, it's smooth sailing from here on out on P&O's Pacific Adventure. There is in fact plenty to love once you look past the blemishes, and one category where P&O really shines is their innovative dining concepts. That includes the pantry and their rotational dining rooms. Unlike many other cruise lines, P&O offers 3 different styles of complimentary dining, which include Angelo's, Dragon Lady and the Waterfront. This is a really fun way to sample a variety of cuisines and also enjoy the change of scenery with each new venue. The quality of food and service in these restaurants was of a high level, and I was particularly impressed with how knowledgeable and friendly the wait staff were in each restaurant as well. Another interesting fact about P&O is the lack of traditional buffet, which has been replaced with a food truck style concept, where dishes are served to you by the staff. This style of dining concept is generally just a lot more straightforward and also a lot more hygienic, which is also positive. This is also a really great way to tackle food wastage too. Another great feature on the adventure is the abundance of options when it comes to taking a dip. There are 4 large swimming pools found aboard the adventure, which means there is something for everyone. This is definitely a standout feature on Pacific Adventure, as many new cruise ships like the Resilient Lady from Virgin Voyages are being launched with 1 pool only. Additionally, other ships in the Australian market, like the Carnival fleet, only offer 1 to 2 pools versus the 4 found on Pacific Adventure. There's a large undercover pool which is a haven for families on board, and over 18s are also catered for with the adults only Oasis pool. There's also the inclusion of a substantially sized main swimming pool and even a private pool for the use of Byron Beach Club guests. So if soaking up the sun and going for a dip is high on your holiday wishlist, I think that the Pacific Adventure could be the ship for you. And to top it all off, the Pacific Adventure features an incredible twin racer water slide and the Edge Adventure Park. The Edge experience is host to a variety of thrilling activities like rock climbing, flying fox, and even a ropes course. And in terms of water parks that are available on cruise ships in Australia, this is one of the better setups that I can find. And if all of that is not enough to get your heart racing, there's even a walk the plank experience. The Adventure Park really is such an iconic feature, and it's sure to please the whole family. So after all of that, do I think Pacific Adventure is worthy of being one of Australia's favourite cruise ships? The answer is a big yes, especially if you consider P&O's long history in the Australian cruising market. As a country, we love to support a homegrown brand, and in this case, the Pacific Adventure. However, it's really important to keep a few things in mind when it comes to the Pacific Adventure. Remember, there will be an abundance of upcharges found on board P&O ships, and also the fact that you won't be sailing on a state-of-the-art ship that is brand new with all the bells and whistles. Fundamentally, P&O is a value-based cruise line, and the Pacific Adventure reflects this. But I do think Australians really do love Pacific Adventure, and for good reason. Even with her quirks and imperfections, she is ours after all. So head aboard the adventure with an open mind, and I guarantee you will understand why the Pacific Adventure is one of Australia's favourite cruise ships. Well, that's all for today. I really hope you loved hearing my thoughts on P&O's Pacific Adventure, and I totally appreciate you stopping by my channel and watching this video with me. And if you liked today's vid, please give me a little subscribe and a thumbs up. You can also find me on Instagram at GoodShip Cruising for some behind the scenes goodies. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and I really look forward to getting back to you. So once again, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.